Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Master Betty, and here in this video we are going to... Stop it. Stop. Oh, you're here. Yes, I'm here. What do you do? Why are you... How did you... I thought I threw your ass in the dead zone. Well, I got out. How did you get out? I quit. How do you quit? I banished you. You can't quit being banished. I did. What? Jeets! Don't call me Jeets. Oh, dear God, what the hell is that guy? I am Master... Oh, dear God. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, organics of all ages...
Father! Your pride isn't worth destroying the planet! Come on!
Way past the bargaining stage here. Final Flash!
I'm Double R, and I think he's dead. Huh. Vegeta, that was a bit much. Did you have to?
Shut up, it's fine.
That doesn't look fine. That looks like something from Among Us.
It's fine.
Whatever. I'm just gonna turn my back to that. All that stays back there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, organics of all ages, I'm Double R, and apparently I'm going to need a funeral procession for these people. Let's get into this real quick. I was going to do something about Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones and the controversy thereof. And I found a couple clips from Steven Crowder, because I was looking to see how many people were talking about it, taking some of the clips that help, that whole thing. On one clip, Steven Crowder points out, hey, when something goes viral, like a viral video, if you go 15 seconds after or 15 seconds before the event that's viral, you usually get more context. I say about 30 seconds would be spot on, but 15, I think is what he said. That works. Now, if he said 30 and I'm saying 15, whatever, I would just gun for 30. Point being, context is needed for a situation to be understood fully. But then there was this clip.
They've done this with Dave Chappelle, and they've done it with us on this show. What they try to do when they say this person isn't funny, they separate the actual joke from what offends them, right? They did this with when they go, well, what Steven Crowder claims it's jokes, but I don't think that calling someone a lispy gay Mexican is a joke. Well, that wasn't the joke. That's what offended you. The joke was, go watch the apology video. That's 20 minutes long of jokes. That's not the joke. Like with Dave Chappelle, the joke about people driving, the gays driving the car, and trans people making the ride feel like it's way longer than it needs to be. That's the joke. You were offended by the fact that he made fun of transgenders. So they say, well, I don't see the joke in making fun of transgenders. That's not the joke. You're separating what offended you from what the actual joke was. And that's why they don't want to run the clips. And here's a general rule that I use when it applies to anything, jokes or commentary, right? If you extend the clip that you see that typically generates outrage, extend it 30 seconds in either direction. It'll usually go one of two directions. If you extend it, it's either less offensive or you understand the point to it, or it gets worse. For example, remember we did that joke about Christine Blasey Ford? The authorities still are considering the distinct possibility that she's a lying whore was the joke?
Yeah.
Well, the Young Turks, I know we can't use them anymore once we go surpass them, but that live stream is going to be a lot of fun. When people extended it 30 seconds in either direction, what they saw was that we used all of the evidence as the setup. And the punchline was that police officer, and people said, oh, you know what? I don't even necessarily agree, but it's really not as offensive as you make it seem. Now, if you extend it, for example, someone saying that, I don't know, I like seeing American war heroes getting killed in Iraq and we deserve 9/11, and you go, oh, what's that? That sounds bad. And you extend it, and it's just them going, seriously, I effing think we deserve 9/11. Seriously, I effing hope this guy gets taken out by jihadists. And you go, whoa, I provided more context. It's almost like it's worse.
Give you a little more rope.
That's a rule that I use. Separate what offends you from the actual context and content of the joke, and then whatever it is that offends you, give it more context. Give it 30 seconds in both directions. And then if at that point you're not sure, give it a minute in both directions. It's usually pretty easy to find out where they're coming from. And there is nothing sadder, while we're talking about this, than watching woke leftists explain comedy to one of the greatest comics of our time. I think that's what bothers me about this so much right now, is this sermonizing, and I hate to use the word virtue signaling. We do have to get to John O'Hurley in a little bit, Jay Peterman. Let's assume, though, that the left is being genuine. I always typically assume that they're being genuine. Let's assume that everyone is actually offended and genuinely hurt by these jokes. Okay, how about this? You don't have to find it funny. You just have to acknowledge that it's comedy. Let's start with that. Start with that, context over content, and then maybe we can find some common ground.
And I realized something. In my video where I'm talking about the prime roleplay issue, the prime discussion, the prime argument, the freedom of roleplay versus sympathy's law, how that came up, I noticed something. There was this quote and line item number 6. And I thought about that for a minute and I went, wait, let's try Steven Crowder's theory of taking something 30 seconds forward or 30 seconds back. I got to sympathy's law because I took Taboo Insanity and went 30 seconds forward. As I stated in the video, I didn't go down the trail enough. I didn't see where it would lead. So by going down the trail, I ran into sympathy's law. Okay. What I didn't do was go back to Taboo Insanity and take the 30 seconds back to see how it sparks up. In short, I see the fire, but I didn't see where the gasoline came from. You get what I'm getting at? So that's what this video is. We're going to take the 30 seconds backwards. So, from Taboo Insanity, since I already stated that the main complaint is the writer condones the actions of the character, or that's what their belief is, that's actually in the ballpark stepping back. That's actually in the ballpark. Here's why I say this. As I pointed out in the clip from Steven Crowder, where context is removed and thrown out the window, because if context is there, you have to logically rationalize dealing with it. So getting rid of that permits you to deal with just the offense, what offends you. And because you have just the offense there, everything else can be shot to shit. Or in short, to cause taboo insanity, you have to locate and focus solely on the taboo. This is why in this statement here, it says it doesn't matter if you're in or out of character. It's based solely on the offense. Same thing with line item 6. The reason why I can say, yeah, they're type 2. Because they sit there and say, oh, why don't you just hop on a white character and say the same thing that you would on a black character? No. No, different characters have different mentalities, different mindsets, different skill sets, etc. Go back to my Blade and freaking Cyclops analogy. That's the other video. Anyway, so taking those steps back, condone was like the 10-second marker. I went back 10 seconds, got condone. So go back a little bit further. They found the offense, and they have to omit the rest of the context. This is explained in their own things. Oh, it doesn't matter if someone's being racist. It doesn't matter if you're in or out of character. Imagine defending racism of a character by saying it's in character. Leonardo DiCaprio is a racist now. It's y'all motherfuckers that gave Robert Downey Jr. a hard time about Tropic Thunder and his character in that. Because context is a thing! But because of that quote and because of line item 6, that showed the difference. I'm able to say stuff like, Leonardo DiCaprio is not a racist because he's just taken on a role. And people go, I get it. I understand it. I get it. I understand it. Makes perfect sense. Why? Because there's context. They are now having to deal with the context of the situation of their taboo, aka racism in this case. And they go, he's just an actor. That's the context. It's a movie. It's supposed to show something. He's an actor. It's totally different in roleplay. Which is kind of funny because there's another argument where people go, yeah, I'm just writing and it's totally different than acting. While other people are saying that they roleplay to practice their text-styled acting. System damage. Reload. You know that all sounds stupid, right? Yes, I know it sounds stupid. Because people want to omit fucking context all the time? Yes, it sounds stupid. I get it. Well, why do they omit context when they put context in other things? Could you stay focused with me? It's because of taboo insanity and the fact that they want to be offended. Why would they want to be offended? That's fucking stupid. Yeah, it is. Good on you. How's Betty doing over there? I'm alive. How? You know what? Second thought. I don't care how. I'm just gonna look over here. I don't care. Don't care. Point being, the whole removal of context is very important. And that is the first part of how we get to taboo insanity. If you sit there and tell the same people, Leonardo DiCaprio was role-playing a racist. He took on a role, and the character was racist. Even said the N-word. Right? So wouldn't that mean, by your own logic, you should be pissed off at Leonardo DiCaprio and call him a racist? The typical defense is, well, he's not. Because he's acting. And then we got this about Robert Downey Jr. You see, some people will give context and understand it, and others will omit the context because they're offended. This works the same in roleplay as it does in acting. As we are here. See how that works, ladies and gentlemen? Now, yes, I am not poking fun at these people particularly, but I am saying this is how the same things pop up in other things to where, yeah, you can complain if you want, but you have the same mentality they do. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But that is the prime point. That is the flashpoint. That is where all the gasoline went, and that is the person lighting the match. They have taken the context and have threw it out the window so they can focus solely on the thing that offends them. Once they did that, they step over to assuming that the writer is condoning the actions of the character. Once they get there, it leads them to start spinning into taboo insanity, which of course leads us back to sympathy's law. Yes, I am hacking at this to make sure we get the exact point of a problem. Again, this is why I'm a type 3.
Why? Sean, it's not technically your manhood. It's James Bond's manhood. All right, then.
If you say it in character, fine, whatever. I don't care, character to character, just whatever. I don't have to interact with your character. I don't have to interact with you. It's a character thing, whatever. You can do what you want. Most people who know me know that's how I break stuff down. Even when I get pissed off, I will have a complaint in character and I'll have a complaint out of character. There are two different complaints because of two different things that happen. That is a key component for people to remember. But if they say it out of character, now we have a problem. This is why it's very important, ladies and gentlemen, to have a line of scrimmage. Are we all good? All right. I'm Double R. I'm out. Y'all have a good time role-playing. And if you guys aren't role-playing, well, happy you spent some time with me anyway. I'm Double R, and I'm out. Later.